All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. This video is going to be entitled Adultery has ruined the world in many ways. Alright? So look here. And I'm going to be talking about how, or some of the ways how adultery has ruined this earth, man. And before that though, I want to go to what actually adultery is. Right? Because this world has got adultery confused, man. This world don't really know what adultery actually is. This is Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 10. And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbour's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death. So adultery is a man sleeping with another man's wife, right? Adultery is not, right? I repeat, adultery is not a man that has a wife sleeping with another woman that does not have a man or is not betrothed to another man. That is not adultery, right? But let's just say, for example, let's just live in a hypothetical world for a second and say that adultery is when a man sleeps with any other woman, if he's got a woman already, right? And it doesn't matter whether that woman's single or not, right? Well then, how many of you women out there are adulterers yourself? Because you women love trying to get with men that have got women already. You love that. You women love competing with other women for men. That's the main man that you women want all the time. The man that all the other women want. Right? And you women don't care when a man's got a wedding ring on his finger and say, oh, you know what? I need to ease up off that guy because he's got a woman already. Y'all still do it. In fact, some of the time you like to go for that better. Right? Showing in your own selves that you already know what time it is for real. That a man can have multiple wives, because some of you women are happy to be the silent, invisible woman. Right? Some of you are happy to do that, especially when you examine the other man's wife and you think in your mind, oh, she looks better than me. So one of the things that you women will do to try and prove that she ain't better looking than you is you'll want to see if you can get her, man. Right? But then at the same time, all these women don't like adultery. They don't like so-called cheating and all of this, right? That's what they say. That's their public voice speaking, right? But then all of these men out there are able to do it. So who are they doing it with? You know what I mean? Who are they doing it with? And then you will say, oh, he lied to me. Okay, let's say that's true in them scenarios. But what about these men that have got all these children by all these different women? Are they lying too? Or do you know that he's got all them children by them other women and you still do your thing with him? So let's cut the BS, right? And that's not even what adultery really is anyway, man. Adultery is a man sleeping with another man's wife. And considering all you people like the 10 Commandments, is that not in the 10 Commandments? Yes, it is. Exodus chapter 20 and verse 14. Thou shalt not commit adultery. I find it funny that all you women try and make it like y'all so righteous, right? But you women wouldn't want to live in a world where adultery doesn't exist, because what's one of the main things that with this whole red pill thing and all of that is exposing out here that you women are into? Hypergamy, right? Hypergamy, where a woman leaves one, or monkey branching, which is where a woman leaves one relationship to get into a relationship with another guy that has got more, normally, finances than another guy. But it doesn't always have to be that way. He could just be 3 inches taller. So instead of being 5'5", he's now 5'8". Instead of being 5'8", he's 5'11". Instead of being 5'11", he's 6'2", 6'3". Instead of being 6'3", he's 6'5". You know? Instead of making 50,000 a year and being a plumber, he makes 50,000 a year, but he's a club promoter. That's how it works with this hypergamy thing, right? That you women love so much, right? But could you women do that? All you women that are so against cheating and all of this, right? You're so against adultery. Could you women do that and be able to do that thing that you do in a world that doesn't allow adultery? Would hypergamy exist in a world that doesn't have adultery in the way that it exists now? Or would it be that the woman hopes that her father makes her be have an arranged marriage to the best possible man while she's still a virgin? You know what I mean? Instead of what happens in this society, where you women be brocking it down, busting it down, doing everything for all men under the sun, right? Without no financial requirements, and then have the nerve, right? The nerve and the audacity when you want to get married to expect that man to have to pay everything that all these other geezers didn't have to pay. And they ain't getting nothing new. The husband ain't getting nothing new that you women hadn't give to everyone else. In fact, they're getting the worst of it because now it's been used by everyone else. And ain't no telling what they did before the husband got there. Ain't no telling, right? You people are lost, man. And then for all you Jakes out there that you love sleeping with other men's women, right? Y'all are some demons because you men that like to do that to other men, and then everyone laughs at that guy, right? Like I've seen the footage that's went out there of what happened at this O'Malley. I think that's how you say O'Malley concert, right? Where he's all singing and that to the woman, and the woman goes on the stage. She's got a big afro on that. She goes on the stage, and mate, it's like that woman had been waiting for that moment her whole damn life, bruv. With all the shit that she was doing on that stage, she was in the zone. You know what I mean? And one of the reasons why she liked that situation so much is because she was thinking about all the other women that he could have chose to call up on the stage, but he called her up on the stage, right? I'm part of the thing that she was getting such enjoyment at. That was what she was thinking of, all the envy that all the other women would have been having towards her. She didn't remember that she had a relationship of 7 years and all that, right? But then it's you women that are complaining and crying about how men are adulterous so much, man. But you are the main adulterers. This adulterous society that we live in has benefited you women the most, because if it was in a righteous society, right? For starters, there wouldn't have been no taking no woman to no concert to see her favorite musician, right? I'm your favorite. In the kingdom, it's gonna be I'm your favorite singer. You know what I mean? I'm your favorite musician. I'm your favorite stand-up comedian. I'm your favorite actor. You know what I mean? That's what it's gonna be in the kingdom. It ain't gonna be no a woman takes her, invites her man to go to the front stage to see her favorite comedian or to watch a sports game, and she's there lusting after the other athletes, and that's not going to be happening in the kingdom. But let's say we was in a righteous society, right? When as soon as that man grabbed that woman's hand and brought her on the stage, and people seen what he was doing, right? All the men in that crowd would have ran up on the stage and done them over, man. And that Amelie would have went from singing to saying, ouch, ouch, ow, 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 that's my head. Ouch, ouch, ow, that's my eye. You're hurting me. He would have went from singing, being in the zone, being an adulterous demon, to hitting a Philly shell, having to dodge strikes, man. And she would have had to do the same too. But we're not living in a righteous world. So what happened instead? They seen that was going on, and then the bouncer, the security guards, and that in the background was getting told by some other guy, pointing to some other guy in the crowd, "Where's her boyfriend? Where's her boyfriend?" All right, let me zoom into his face so that I can have this moment captured, because I think it's funny. I think it's funny that this man invited his woman to the concert, right? Paying and helping me make money. And I think it's funny that his woman's on stage getting bust down, but then I wouldn't think it's funny if it's my woman there. And the same guy that is doing this to this man's woman would do the same things to my woman. But let me laugh though, because it's funny because it's happening to him. But it wouldn't be funny if it was happening to me. And then they'll try and make out like the man that it's happening to, right, is some kind of like weak man or whatever, right? Because that's happening to him in that moment. When what could he do in that situation, man? Leave the concert only? Because this world took men's power away from doing what is actually supposed to happen. right? This world's took the power away from men. What's supposed to happen, man? Verse 17. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbour's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbour's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbour's. And adultery is part of coveting. Because when people know that a man's got a woman, right, and they start scheming on how they can get that man's woman, right, eventually he might say, well, okay, she's only with him because this. She's only with him because that. And one of the things that they might say she's only with him because of is money, right? And that's why it's not even a good thing when people like mock in regards to money, man. You've got all these IUICs and all of that, right? And they like to mock other Israelites and call them bums and all of this, right? But you wouldn't want to live in a world where people are too much on a coveting thing, watching your money, because that leads to a whole bunch of other mess, man. Thieves, robbers, right? Calling other men bums and all that and laughing and mocking other men because of money. Well, do you want them to be envious and covetous of your money then? Because that's what happens in this world, man. And that's part of the thing that adultery's caused, man. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbour's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbour's wife. You shouldn't covet your neighbour's money too. Don't covet your neighbour's bank balance, right? Don't covet your neighbour's clothes. Don't covet your neighbour's car. Oh, if I had that car, then I'll be able to get that woman too. She's only with him because of this. It don't matter why she's with him. She's not with you, and that's it. That's what it's supposed to be, right? But in this world, it's adulterous and wicked, man, and it leads to women that are wicked being able to play wicked games. Because then a woman can bounce from one guy to the next guy, unscathed according to the law, and then bounce from one guy to the next guy again, unscathed from the law. And men can sleep with other men's wives and then send them back to the husband, tainted and defiled, and they end up unscathed by the law because the law doesn't get judged out on what's supposed to happen, man. Which is why one of the reasons why this world is so wicked, man. And it's one of the reasons why we sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst of. And it's coming to the point, man, where brothers will see something in regards to adultery, we get angry as if it happened to us, right? We'll get angry as if that was our wife almost, man, because we are disgusted by the wickedness of it, man. It's annoying to see a man that's a famous guy, right? And he could get women that are not got husbands, but he'll say, nah, forget that. I'm trying to get the women that I want to get, whether they got a husband or not. If that's the woman I like in that particular moment, I'm going for that woman. I don't care if she's got a husband. I don't care. He should have been a singer too then. He should have been a singer too. And maybe she would have liked him instead of me. That's the kind of mindset that they have. And you got a whole bunch of these slipping, sliding, smooth singing, smooth dancing Jakes in the world, man, that are on that too. Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4, and Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry, for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And one of the things that gets sighed and cried about is adultery, man, because it really is wicked, man. It really is a thing that ultimately leads to a lack of community, man, because men ain't going to trust another man that they think would sleep with his wife, right? They ain't going to do that. Men ain't going to help another man that they think would sleep with his wife. Neither are they going to be trusting their woman because they might know that their woman is just simple. Their woman might just be simple, and anyone that gives her attention and says anything nice to her, because a lot of these men ain't got no confidence in nothing like that. Anyone that gives them any kind of time of the day, you know what I mean? It's just wicked, bruv. It's just evil, man. But with you wicked Jakes in the world, man, all of y'all will be the first one to cry and to be wanting blood to be shed when it happens to you. But then you don't care when you do it, though. You don't care when you've did it, though, do you? Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 32. But whoso committeth adultery with a woman, lack of understanding, he that doeth it destroyeth his own soul. And part of the way how it destroys your own soul is because now, okay, you got yourself, let's say all these guys that got themselves money and all that, or let's say whatever adulterous situation, man, and you see how easy it was for you to sleep with another man's wife. Well, how do you think now that you're going to be looking at any women that you decide that you want to care about now? You think you're going to trust them? You think you're going to trust women anymore after how you seen how easy it is for a woman to just sleep with another man? How easy it was for her to have the phone on and be answering her husband while she's doing a madness with the next geezer? You know what I mean? You've destroyed your own soul because now you've experienced how wicked they are in that regard. So now you ain't going to trust your woman. So in a situation where your woman's innocently at the corner store and that, getting groceries for the family home, you might call up and be like, "Where?" and say, "Nah, I don't believe you." Video record it, prove that you're there, and now you're paranoid because you've seen all the wickedness that you was able to make women do. You've destroyed your own soul, man. A wound and a dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped out. If a man knows, yeah, and this is what's mad in this world. Some people see that there's guys that do all of these things with men's wives, right? And they always assume, excuse me, they always assume that he'd never do it to them. Oh, he did it to that guy, but that he did it to that guy because that guy is a waste man. No, he did it to that guy because he liked that guy's woman. That's why he did it. Because it's more enjoyable for him to get another man's wife. That's what he likes now. And you got all these red pill cats that they teach on how to do this, man. They teach how to do it. Isn't it strange? Verse 34. In fact, verse 33 again, a wound and a dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away. You can't trust nobody that's like that, man. You can't trust these adulterous ninjas, man. You can't trust them. If you bring them kind of people around your woman, they're going to be saying hello to your woman, but they're going to be saying hello in that usher way. Do you know what I mean? They're going to be saying hello in another way. They're going to be saying hello with their mouth and saying hello with their eyes and all that. And that's why it's better for people to not even know what your woman looks like, man. That's none of their business, to be honest with you. And in the kingdom, it won't be the same as now because now adultery is running rife out here. But in the kingdom, no one's going to commit adultery. The woman will know not to commit adultery. She'll know not to. But in this world, women be trying to go through the whole friendship group out here, man. I've seen women like that before in my lifetime, that they want to try and deal with the whole friendship group. And the friendship group might not even be small, man. And they want to go through every single man in that friendship group, man. Nasty as hell. Dirty. You know? Disgusting, man. Verse 34. For jealousy is the rage of man, therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts. And if, let's say that guy at the Malay concert, right? Let's say he would have ran up on the stage and was prepared to take that guy's life that tried to that did embarrass him in that way. And that guy said, "Nah, man, I'm rich, man. Yeah, I'll give you this amount of money." But he knew that if he took that man's life away for this disrespect that he gave him, that he's right in the light eyes of the Lord and that no one's going to arrest him. He ain't going to go to jail or none of that. You think he wouldn't have took justice instead of the money? He would have took justice, man, to get his respect back. Right? To get his respect back, man. And ultimately, this is part of the curses anyway, man. This is part of the curses because another Israelite man is supposed to be disgusted to do that to another Israelite, but then we're not supposed to do it to another person in general, man, even a heathen. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 54 said that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother. That's part of a man's eyes being evil towards his brother. Because you don't care now that that's his wife. You're like, so? And? He can have her when I'm finished. That's the kind of mindset that you Jakes have, man. These wicked 2/3 have in this world. And that once upon a time, that might have been the wicked ass mindset that many Hebrew Israelite men that believe in the Lord right now have had, man. They might have had the same mindset. They might have had the same mindset, man. To where if they see a Jake walking down the street with his woman, they'll say something just to try and start it off because they might be with their boys, or I'm with my boys, so I'm gonna say something to her, and he can't do nothing because he's outnumbered, and he better not say nothing. He better stay on. He better keep it moving, otherwise we're gonna bust his head open. That's the kind of wicked mindset that Jake's have in this world, man. They love doing that kind of shit, but then when it's their woman, now they're paranoid, man. And now they don't trust no women themselves because of all the things that they've been able to get away with doing with other men's women. So now they're paranoid, man. Now when their woman comes to them saying they're pregnant, they might be like, man, whose child is it? And then even though if the child comes out looking like them, they're like, man, I ain't really too sure, because I know that the other dirty hole made that guy raise up my child and he still don't know that it's his child. So how do I know that this child's mine? And that's what happens for living wickedly, man. And toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Because in situations where there's just adultery enough, men don't even know if their child's really theirs, man. They won't even know. I think there was a stat somewhere in Jamaica that there's a high level of paternity fraud. I'm not even sure the numbers, man. But among Benjamin, there's a high level of paternity fraud. And I think it was even among Nigerians as well. But what is that? Paternity fraud is caused by adultery, right? One woman sleeping with another man that she might think's just physically handsome or whatever. But then she'll make the other guy pay. She'll make the other guy pay for that, of what she did, man, and won't tell him. And won't tell him, man. And then when the man finds out, they'll have a nerve to have an attitude. And we're talking about, why did you get a DNA test behind my back? You didn't trust me. Yeah, he didn't, and he was right to not. You know what I mean? This world's wicked, bro. And we all know it is. And that's one of the reasons why Yahweh's gonna jack a lot of people up, man. Because this world's adulterous as hell. Wicked as hell, man. So right, chapter 9 and verse 9, sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thine arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire thou fall into destruction. If a man starts spending his money on a woman, he's going to start liking her, right? And that's why you have all these IG women and all that, these IG women and all these models and that, with these online lifestyles and that they've got all these men spending their money on them, and they think that they can just innocently make that money. No, all those men that are spending these hundreds of thousands of pounds on you, these tens of thousands of pounds and that, their heart's declining to you, right? And they're in their mind somewhere viewing you as their woman, but you've already got a man. A lot of these women have already got men and that. But they're thinking, oh, I'm just going to make this money. And then that's innocent because I never met these guys. No, the men are still spending their money with you, man. And they'd still want to commit adultery if they had the chance. But you men don't mind using men's adulterous thoughts to benefit your life. You can do it through hypergamy and all of this stuff. You can do it to sow discord among brethren. Adultery's benefited wicked women in this world in a major way, man. Because when women might get angry with their man, then the next thing you know, they'll sleep with the man's father, the man's brother, the man's best friend, the man's cousin. But really, in those situations, the man should say, I'm never going to sleep with you. That's not ever happening. But they don't say it, though. They don't ever say that, do they, in a lot of situations, man? It's very rare that you'll see a man that will say to a woman, I'm not committing adultery with you, man. It's even more rare that a man will do what Joseph did, which Joseph ran away. Joseph ran away from a woman to not commit adultery with her. He ran away from her, man. He ran out the house. And she was still clinging on his clothes and all that, man. Which even that story proves how wicked women are. Because she wanted to commit adultery with him. But then when he said no and ran away from her, then her first thing to do was to lie and say, oh, he tried to do this to me, he tried to do that to me. Which if any of you simple-minded clowns, you guys that are whiny little babies, actually had any understanding of the laws of Yahweh, you would know that that's why Yahweh put that clause in the law where if a woman's being R-worded, right, she better scream about it and say no loud enough that people can hear her if she's in the city. Because women will commit adultery, right? And then when they get caught, now all of a sudden the man's did something wrong to them. Yahweh put that in there to stop women being able to say, oh, he did it, he tried to do this to me, thinking they slick. He put that in there for them to not be able to try and sneak off and commit some adultery in the city. And then when they get caught, say, oh, he did this to me. Well, we never heard no screams of you saying, no, get off me. Where did this happen? Because we would have heard that and we would have came and helped you. But we never heard that. So really, you were down with it. Don't play. Now you're getting the judgment too. That's what it's supposed to be, man. Let me read this. Sitting out all with another man's wife, not sit down with her in thine arm. Neither sit down with her in thine... Salakia. Salakia, man. Sirach chapter 9 and verse 9. Sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thine arms, and spend not thy money with her at the wine, lest thine heart incline unto her, and so through thy desire fall into destruction. And that goes to that work drinks demon, man. Or that work drinks and that work do. The Christmas party. Right? The Christmas party, man. Where everyone's drunk. Everyone's wicked as hell. And they're trying to get their swerve on out there. That's what's happening at Christmas do a lot of the time, unless you got the spirit on you to just be I'm gonna sit down and eat this meal, you know, and then bounce. But that adultery spirit is out there, man. It's out there. The adultery spirit is at work in general, man. All these women talking about their work husband and all that, their work husband. Some of you women are so desperate to have a work husband, you can't even get a real one. You know what I mean? And then I find it hilarious that you women are so adulterous and wicked, right? But then you have the nerve to want a man to take care of you. When you women have did such madness, man. Like what Jacob did of working for his wives for that 14 years, right? Is not even a bad thing, right? And men in this world would do that, you know. But men in this world now wouldn't want to do that, because what all that 14, if a man worked for 14 years for men in this world, what is he gonna get? Some used up woman, man. He ain't gonna do all that 14 years work or that 7 years work, and the woman's gonna be a virgin. She's gonna have been putting in, while he's been putting in his 7 years of graft to get her, she'll have been putting in her 7 years of graft to feel like she ain't missed out on nothing by the time she gets married. And then the adultery wickedness is so mad in this world, right? That the women will do a thing on the Hindu and all that, or even on the wedding night, man. It's mad out here, bro, because really, the woman's not marrying her husband anyway. She's already been married to whoever she lost her virginity to, man. That's what it really is down here. That's what it really is, man. And that's why this is one of this place is just wicked, man. Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 2, when the righteous in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And this world is wicked, man. And then let me get another scripture, because Esau loves adulterers, man. Psalm chapter 50 and verse 16. But unto the wicked Yahweh saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction, and castest my words behind thee? When thou sawest the thief, then thou consentest with him, and hast been partaker with adulterers. When Esau sees these women commit adultery, right, he allows them to leave with divorce money and be better off financially. When according to the law, the adulterer and the adulteress are not supposed to even leave with their lives spared. So Esau has completely flipped it over. Because if a man's married to a woman, right, and she commits adultery, he can lose half. And if he so-called, according to what this world would say adultery is anyway, sleeps with any woman, he'll lose half. You see what I'm saying? Like, this world is demonic as hell, man. And what women actually expect men to accept in this world is quite disgusting. Because let's say, right, a man does go out and get himself all the riches that he's supposed to have, and he's the so-called real man that this world tells him that he's supposed to be, and he's got all the money now so that he's financially stable to take care of women, and then he gets himself a one woman now, right? Well, okay, he's got himself successful now to have one woman, and the woman that he gets is more than likely not even a virgin. So somebody else has had that woman before you, which is gross, right? But then let's say now that woman starts getting old and he doesn't find her attractive no more, right? And he starts seeing other women that are attractive. Well, don't you men know that because you say that a man, you try and put a lot that put men's genitals on lockdown, I think you can try and tell men how they're supposed to be, right? When Yahweh told us that we can be a whole nother way. Let's say that man then, when his wife starts getting old, says, you know what, she's getting old, I want a next woman. Well, what's he going to do to the woman that's old then? He's going to leave her. And then that woman's going to be all distraught and that she's going to feel old, right? But in that situation, what choice did you give him? Because you're saying that the man's only supposed to have one woman. And then let's go to a scenario, because we've considered these things, and we consider these these wicked ass things that people have tried to put on men in this world, man. We consider this. And that's why we long for the kingdom, man. It's not even a thing where men are just so desiring multiple wives like that. But these are some of the things that we have to go to prove that this world is full of it, man. This world is full of BS. But let's say there's a scenario where a couple have been together for a while, yeah? And then now the woman's upset and bothered by the man's financial situation. So then he then changes his financial situation in the relationship and gets himself more money, right? In that situation, now that the man does start making the money to where he's more attractive financially, what does he get as a reward for all that hard graft that he put in to increase his finances? What does he get as his reward? The same woman that he was with anyway. The same exact woman. You might say, oh, he gets more cars and all that. Okay. More cars for what purpose though? More cars for what? More cars to drive to his job and back. Now, what's his reward for all the hard work that he's did? The woman gets a man that's more financially attractive now. The woman that was in the relationship. But what does the man get as a reward? What's his reward, man? And that's why this world's a joke. This world's a joke, man. All the women like the men that all the other women like, right? And this is the female demonic mindset, man. Women ultimately want to think in their mind that they're the best person on the earth, and this is the conclusion I've came to, and this is the way how they want it to be, where they think that they are the best in the earth, man. Which is why, let me get this scripture, man. Let me get this scripture before I go into this point, man, so I'm not just talking my own mind. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 26, and I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, her mind is snares and nets, man, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleased Yahweh shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Now, this is what women's mindset is, man. They want to think in their mind ultimately that they are the best. So they go around seeking the best man, right? And part of one of the ways how women seek the best man is based on who other women like, right? Based on who other women like. And that's why every single time when a woman doesn't like a guy, But then she sees that he's got a girlfriend. All of a sudden, she likes him more because she's seen, oh, maybe he is the kind of man that you're supposed to like because she likes him. So maybe I should like him too. And for how deep you women think you are, you think you're so deep and, oh, when we're so unique, oh, not all women and all that. Y'all are all pretty much the same, man. And even some of you women that claim to be Israelites, y'all ain't not much different than these wicked ass women out there in the world, man. Some of y'all ain't, man. And the ones that are different for real, we don't know who you are because you ain't even on comment boards trying to make your voice be heard there neither, man. You're really hidden. You're really making yourselves not be known, which is the right thing to do, man. Verse 27, behold, this I have found, saith the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account, which my soul seeketh, but I find not. One among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all these have I not found. So it's hard to even find a righteous woman among 1,000 women, man. But back on this point, man, women desire in their mind to be the best. They want to think in their mind that they're the best woman, their best person on earth. And one of the wicked ways that I believe, man, this is just my opinion, man. One of the ways that they came to the conclusion that they can think this is by saying, okay, well, let me find the best man on the earth, which there ain't nothing wrong with a woman wanting to find the best one on the earth, right? But then here's where it goes sideways according to their dumb mindset. They want to find the best man on the earth that all these other women like, even women that look more attractive than them, even women that's personalities are better than them, right? But they want the other women to like their man for this reason, so that they can be envious of her, so that they can think in their mind, oh man, I wish I was her. Because they don't expect or want their man to lust after or want any of these other women that look better than her, or that might have a better personality than her. They don't want him to deal with any of them. So in them doing that, then they say, well, I must be the best woman then. Because if I'm not the best woman, then my husband would want these other women. And that mindset ain't never gonna work, man. The thing that you women expect to happen ain't never gonna work. And for all you women thinking that men and women are gonna switch roles and all of that, you women ain't about that life. You women wouldn't want men and women to switch roles, man. Because then it would mean this, that you women are gonna be expected to take care of a whole family. You women actually really think that you're benefiting a society where you get to make money and then you get to say, I'm going to sleep with all of these men that I want to sleep with. In that situation, you ain't winning. You're making the men win. Because now the men don't have to do nothing for you. Men would happily take care of wives. Men would happily take care of wives if they are financially able to, man. Women, on the other hand, would not want to do that. And we all know this is true. Because despite how much money these women are so-called making and they're such boss queens and all of this, right? They're always still looking at a man's pockets, man. But if y'all got the bag like y'all say, let y'all money be free then. Free up your money and spend it as you want to spend it, man. Don't be watching our money. Don't be watching men's money. Watch your own pockets, man. Why are you worried about what men have got in their pocket for then? If you're such bag getters. But it's because of the snares and nets thing that I read about in this scripture, the 26th verse. This Ecclesiastes 7 and 26, man. This world's mad, bro. All the adultery that goes on down there and all the madness that goes down there, right? But it will be these women that will be the main ones talking about how men cheat and men do this and men do that, knowing damn well that they be doing things with their female friend's husband, man, because they're jealous. When you women go out there and you try and make your female friends jealous of your lifestyle and you're always boasting about what your man buys you and all of that, right? You know the reason why you're really doing it. You're trying to do it to make your female friends jealous, which in turn makes them covet, which in turn makes them do what you say, which is not the truth, by the way, but it's what you women will say is adultery, which is actually not, by the way. It's actually not adultery, but you women don't want it to be that way. You women don't want men to have multiple wives, right? You want women to be jealous of your husband. You want women to lust after your husband because who wants a man that nobody else wants? That's what you women say, right? But then you expect the man to say, "Nah, I'm not gonna deal with him." When why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? And let me get this scripture, man, because for all the talk that you women have had, trying to think you can put men on lockdown and that out here, right? You're gonna fail, man. And this is just one clear point to go to every single time when women want to talk about how righteous they are according to scriptures, man. Every single time any woman starts talking up about how much she loves the Lord, come to her with this, and you'll realize that she don't love the Lord as much as you think she does, man. And for all you women out there that you think you're some good women and you think you're some righteous women according to the scriptures, right? Well, righteous women according to the scriptures was finding their husband of women. So they was going so far as to take the burden from him even having to go out there and find women, man, and finding women for him. And it even showed that in that TV series of Marco Polo, man, where the woman that was the queen to that Kublai Khan guy, right? She was finding him other women, man, and even teaching them other women how to please her husband, right? She was doing that. Now, would all you women that think that you're such good Bible when you go to church all these times, how many of y'all would do that? How many of you would do that? Or instead, do you try and use your body as a way to finesse wealth and finesse dates and finesse buying clothes and bags and all that stuff out of your husband? Is that what you end up doing instead, alternatively? Trying to hold your body over your man's head? Is that what you try and do instead? And that's the main reason why women don't want men to have multiple wives, because they know then that they couldn't try and play some of the madness that they try and play with men. Because he'd have a whole selection of women to where when you're getting on his nerves, he'll go to the next to his other wife and see his other wife, man. And then when she starts getting on his nerves, he'll go to the other wife. And then when she starts getting on his nerves, he'll go to the next one. And he'll keep doing that until he comes back around to you again. And then when you start getting on his nerves, he'll repeat the same procedure. And that's why you women love living in an adulterous world, man. Because then you do that. When a man's getting on your nerves, according to what you think is your own emotion, your feelings, you bounce from him and you get an ex-husband. Or you get an ex-man. And then when that man starts not doing what you want him to and you realize you can't control that man, then you do the same thing again. And then you do the same thing again and again and again. And then your conclusion that you women come up to is all men are this and all men are that. When you're the one that's been with all of these different 30 geezers plus. So really, you're the problem. Right? Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. Right? All you women that think that y'all are some queens and that men have to bow down to your way, you're going to realize, no, we don't, man. It's going to be you that's going to bow down to Yahweh's way, where a man is allowed to have multiple wives, man, and where you women are not allowed to commit adultery. Because for all the talk that these women say in this society about how much they don't like adultery, they don't like cheating and all that, they've been the main ones doing it, man. They've been the main ones. Some of the ways how men have ended up with in this world, man. Some of the men that are with their women right now, and I'm not putting this on brothers, but some of the men that are with women right now are with that woman because the woman committed adultery on her, man. She left them to get with this guy. And in the situation with most men, even in Men in the Truth, the woman that they're with is not a woman that they took their virginity. So that's adultery. That's so-called cheating, as you women want to try and cry about all the time, man. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach, man. So you women are going to feel the anguish of not having men around, man. Whereas right now you've got a continual selection. Some of you women go on online dating like it's pick and mix, man. You think you can just type in like it's creator, man. You can just type in there on an algorithm and then it prints out an AI man that you can date in real life. And that's why you got big overgrown women, big as hell, big with man-sized feet and that, talking about how men have to hit the gym to get with them, and men have to do this, men have to have this amount of money, that amount of money. And then when you look at the woman, you're like, hang on. What are you talking about? Are you being real, fam? Like, that's not ever going to happen. And you already know it ain't going to happen. So you may as well just not even talk. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 12, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. So it's going to be men that are going to be seen as more precious than fine gold. When all hell breaks loose, men ain't going to feel like, oh man, I'm saved because I found a woman in the wilderness. Oh man, I'm safe now because a woman's here. A woman's going to come and protect me now because I feel safe now that this woman's here. He ain't going to feel safe from that. He's going to be like, oh man, this woman's going to be trying to want things from me, man. She's going to be requiring things from me. The woman's going to feel safe though if she sees a man. The women are going to feel safe when they stumble upon men. If that man's actually righteous and isn't there to try and victimize her, right? The woman will feel grateful that she met that man. And it even showed that in the book of Eli, man. How the woman was so desperate to follow Denzel, man. Yet the woman Mila Kunis, the actor Mila Kunis, her character was wanting to leave and follow after Denzel Washington's character, man. She had to, you know. And then even in another movie, what's the movie, man? What's it called, man? It's a lock here. Bushwick, right? It's an apocalyptic movie, Bushwick. The movie starts off with the woman walking down the streets with her like corporate looking business, like accountant looking boyfriend and that, and they're all mushy, kissy and that, right? Oh, he's about to go and meet her parents and that, and then chaos breaks out and he runs at the top of the train platform to try and see what's going on. And when he comes back, his whole face has been melted off. He's on fire. So now she ain't got no man. He's dead, right? and and so much chaos is going on that she has to just run, keep running away. And then she ends up in a situation where two men try and take her, basically, right? And then Dave Bautista, the actor and the wrestler, his character beats them both up. And in that movie, she never mentions or cares about that husband that died, that boyfriend that died ever again, man. Because a man was more precious than fine gold, right? But he starts getting angry and annoyed with her at several times in the movie, man. She keeps asking him questions and all that. What's going on and this and that, right? Keeps demanding things from him, right? But he had no obligation to protect her whatsoever. And that's what you women don't understand, man. When all hell breaks loose, we don't have no obligation to protect any of you women. We don't have no obligation to protect any of you. You're not our responsibility, man. Unless you was our woman, you ain't our responsibility. That's what you don't understand. You men have not lived in a world like that, man. But you're not going to be our responsibility. Our responsibility is going to be for us to not take the Karag, man. And for us to get on them chariots, man. It's not going to be to just let the women and children get on the chariots first. Nah. That mindset's going to be done away with, man. That mindset's going to be done away with because really, if we're being real, it's more important for men to survive any chaos scenario because the men bring back the nationality. And among the children, the male children are the ones that bring back the nationality. And that's why when you look at what was happening in ancient Egypt, they tried to kill off the male sons, man. That's what they did. But this world ain't going to understand that because this world is all the way upside down, man. And I'm going to end the lesson there, man. I think I made more than my point on how adultery has destroyed this world, man, because it's led to nobody trusting nobody, man. and everybody's out to try and just get the evil spiritual rewards, the wicked ass spiritual rewards that come with being an adulterous demon, man. I'm gonna end the video there, man. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. All praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Shalom.